Welcome back to the Seattle Seahawks franchise. We will be taking on the Los Angeles Rams in our home game. The Los Angeles Rams actually enter this one 0-4, while the Seahawks enter in at 4-0. So it's been a bizarre season in the NFL thus far. The Los Angeles Rams have to come to the land of the 12th man. That's right, we're in CenturyLink Field in Seattle. The Rams, what's bizarre about their season is they don't have any major injuries. You know, I thought, okay, well, maybe there's something on the offensive line. Maybe Jared Goff went down. Maybe Aaron Donald hasn't played. No, they're all healthy. They're just not playing up to par. As you see, there's Alexander right there, who is obviously been playing strong safety after Cam Chancellor recently retiring due to a neck injury that, you know, changed his life, changed his career. And here's Brandon Marshall from last week coming off a 2-touchdown performance on 5 catches for 49 yards. With the injury to Doug Baldwin, they're definitely going to have to look towards his direction a little more often. And Seattle is going to start off the game by getting the football. It's Rashad Penny back deep, and you know what that means. He's going to have to make the most out of this opportunity. Johnny Hekker is going to kick it away, and Rashad Penny is going to receive it at around the 7-yard line. And Penny has a crease, but he is brought down at the 43-yard line. Good return from Rashad Penny, taking full advantage of the opportunity given to him. We're going to be in for an interesting game. We're going to go up against Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald, and we're gonna have to see how this play works. Russell Wilson, oh, it's a fumble. It's a botched snap on the very first play. Good job by Rashad Penny to recover it. A botched snap right there, which led to a bad toss as well from Russell Wilson. And this game is already starting off bad against a team that is 0-4. They're just looking for a win. And actually, the injury is not to Doug Baldwin. It's actually to Tyler Lockett. Excuse me, I got the wrong name there. And Brandon Marshall, they're immediately going to go to him, being covered by Marcus Peters. He's going to get 6 yards. And now right here on 3rd and 11, there's only so many plays you could call. We'll have to see what the Seahawks will dial up. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends, going to be in a shotgun formation. Of course, they got the boy Rashad Penny back there. And here we go, 3rd down. Oh, and he is going to take a sack. Ibukum came in there and got the sack. That's a weird name to pronounce, man. Russell Wilson had his eyes downfield, didn't even bother to scramble that time. And it's crazy because he has the tendency to scramble and make a play. Cooper Kupp is the man back deep, and Michael Dixon, what a nice punt. The bounce was a little too much, but they're going to field this one at the 14-yard line. Michael Dixon has been incredible for this team, and they're going to need him to basically pin the opponents deep if they can't score early. 3 tight ends, and Brandon Cooks is in the game. We got Todd Gurley in the backfield, and you already know he's going to get it. And Earl Thomas is going to have to bring him down along with Barkevious Mingo. Todd Gurley, actually, compared to Rashad Penny, they're almost the same. The only difference is actually not Rashad Penny, J.D. McKissick. The only difference is, you know, one of them's got a touchdown, and Todd Gurley, surprisingly, does not. Robert Woods right there. Oh, there's a flag. It looks like the catch will stand. Let's see what the penalty is going to be. And I have the volume down. I think I mentioned that in the last episode. But Justin Coleman hitting Robert Woods out of bounds right there. So it's going to result in a personal foul 15 yards after the catch. So it looks like they're going to get better field position. At the 41, Gerald Everett is in motion. Gurley. Oh, it's a fake. And Robert Woods lays out for it, going up against Shaquille Griffin that time. Robert Woods, one of the more versatile receivers for the team. You can line them up anywhere. And of course, they have the speed threat of Brandon Cooks working in their favor. And of course, you got Cooper Kupp. So this team has a lot of weapons along with Todd Gurley, Gerald Everett, who's not bad either. And they're going to go play action once again. And they're just going to dump it off to Gerald Everett. He's going to be brought down right there by Mo Alexander. Jared Goff, man, this is the week for them to get the victory, I got to say, because they're 0-4. They shouldn't be in this position, but they are. This could be their redemption game right here. 2nd and 3 now for Jared Goff and company. Well, they're going to immediately just throw it, and Tyler Higbee is going to get the catch. Alexander there once again. Alexander filling in for Cam Chancellor nicely, but we can all be honest here and just say that Cam Chancellor can't necessarily be replaced on this team. He's one of those big-time players, big impact players, can make the big hit. He can get the interception. There's a lot of things Cam Chancellor can do, and Todd Gurley goes down and he immediately clutches at his knee. He was brought down on the play by one of our defensive linemen. I think it was Nazir Jones who brought him down. And that is a big blow to the Los Angeles Rams. They didn't come into this game with any major injuries of sorts. And it looks like the running back Davis is going to come in. Not our guy Mike Davis, but this guy Davis. We don't know a whole lot about him. But man, he's powering ahead. I could have just made up a first name, but I'm not going to do that. Davis on the carry. He gets a few yards right there, powering ahead. 3rd and 2. They're going to go with the similar set they had earlier on the drive, except the tight ends will be on the left side. Higbee in motion. And it looks like they're going to give a counter run to Davis, and he is brought down immediately by KJ Wright. Not a good look right there. And Greg the Leg is going to make the field goal right there. Greg Sirlin going to make the field goal right there. It's going to put the Rams up 3-0. Hecker going to kick it off once again to Rashad Penny, who had a nice return on his first touch. And he's going to get to at least the 27-yard line, so about a 20-yard return for Penny. Good stuff right there for him. Now the offense is going to come back out there. Obviously, they're dealing with no Tyler Lockett, which kind of blows. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And here we go, man. 1st and 10. Russell Wilson going to go across the field to Jerron Brown. He is going to pick up 10, but I think it's going to be 2nd and inches. Yeah, so about 9 to 10 on the play. That's probably going to have to be the bread and butter, those short underneath passes, because you have to deal with Ndamukong Suh, Aaron Donald, Michael Brockers, who's actually pretty good. A lot of people don't talk about him, and Will Dissly overran the route. Probably could have had an easy first down, but he just overran his route. He over-pursued it. That was actually a good play call from Pete Carroll, but doesn't make him look like a genius when it doesn't work. Here we go again. Rashad Penny is in the game. Let's see what impact he has on this play. Oh, he's going to motion out. And Russell Wilson. Wilson's just going to keep it himself, and he is going to slide, but there's a flag on the play. Mark Barron was screaming in there. About tackled Russell Wilson. And yep, typically when you have a nice long run, it gets called back, and Ethan Pocic is going to get called for it. Unfortunate turn of events right there. Now you're looking at a 3rd and 10. CJ Procise in the game. They're going to go play action. And Russell Wilson, he's going to throw it up, and Jerron Brown catches it, and Marcus Peters, who laid the big-time hit, is going to go down. Russell Wilson using all of his arm strength to deliver that ball right there on 3rd and 10, and Jerron Brown immediately becoming an X factor. And look at how far he launches that ball. It's a beautiful throw from Russell Wilson, one of the elite quarterbacks in our game, and he just gets a good inside position on Marcus Peters, and he goes up and makes an amazing play right there. Unfortunately for Marcus Peters, he has to step out of the game for a bit. We don't know the injury, but I'm pretty sure we will get an update soon. Chris Carson with a nice hard run. Gets about 6 yards on the play. 2nd and goal. Here we go, man. About 3 yards to go. Let's see what happens here. Rashad Penny in the game now. Stepping in for Chris Carson. Russell Wilson going to scramble out. And he had the left side of the end zone all to himself. I'm surprised one of the Rams defenders didn't come down there to try to get him. And you can see Sean McVay is pissed. He's not loving it at all. Unfortunately, the playbook screen's in the way, but I thought that LaMarcus Joyner could have came down and made a play while Mark Barron kind of stuck to his assignment. But that never happened. Russell Wilson just had a free lane to the end zone. He basically took the express lane and beat traffic there. 7-3 now for Seattle, and this is what we're talking about. Very resilient football team. They can make some plays. They can make it happen, man. They made a big play right there, and they may get lucky in this one. No Todd Gurley for a little while. No Marcus Peters until further notice. Well, actually, Todd Gurley is going to report back into the game. Here we go, man. Jared Goff and company. It's good to have your running back out there. Let's see what Todd Gurley does throughout the duration of the game. Brandon Cooks immediately wrapped up by Shaquille Griffin for a gain of 7. That's one man you don't want to have get going after he catches the football. The yards after the catch for Brandon Cooks, he's extremely good at that. He can make the slant route go all the way to the house. And Todd Gurley checks back into the game, and Earl Thomas and Bobby Wagner reintroduce him to the game. I believe he didn't gain anything on the play, maybe a yard. Here we go, man. 3rd and 3. And here we go. Jared Goff looking to throw it to Robert Woods, but I think there's some miscommunication, and it's 4th down. And Johnny Hecker going to punt it away. He's looking for Rashad Penny, and this one's going to bounce. And I think they're just going to down it at the 4-yard line. Good punt from Johnny Hecker. We got the nice young prodigy and Michael Dixon, and then we have the veteran Johnny Hecker who can just make it happen. Oh, and Baldwin, it hit him on the helmet, and Talib gets the interception. It hit Doug Baldwin on the helmet. Russell Wilson with an interception right there. It's not completely his fault, but I mean the ball placement was a little off. And Doug Baldwin just made the ultimate play on it by letting it just hit his helmet. And then, of course, Aqib Talib picks it off. But what a hit from Bobby Wagner. Todd Gurley right there not getting much done. Since he's entered the game, he doesn't have a single yard on the ground. So that's good to know. I formation right here for Jared Goff and company. He is going to hand it off to Todd Gurley, and he is met by Jaron Reed, who hasn't had the greatest of seasons. He's been getting a lot of pressure, a lot of inside pressure, a good push up the middle, but he doesn't have the tackles or the tackles for loss really on the stat sheet. 3rd and 9 right here. What's Goff going to do? You got to take advantage of the interception, right? And Goff, he's going to throw it underneath the Woods, but he is brought down before he can make the first down. So it's going to be 4th and 4. Greg Zuerlein going to line up for a routine field goal for him. About 24 yards out. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So it's 7-6, despite the Russell Wilson turnover. Which means right here in the 2nd quarter, Johnny Hecker going to kick it off once again. This time to Rashad Penny, and he's going to call for a fair catch. Good decision right there from Rashad Penny. First and 10, back on the field after Russell Wilson throws an interception. We have not seen Marcus Peters return into the game, so just fair warning you guys who may be huge fans of Marcus Peters. He has not returned to the game yet. He might be out for the game, who knows. Keep our fingers crossed. The Seattle Seahawks are definitely hoping so. It's Kel Roby-Coleman and Aqib Talib. Aqib Talib basically shadowing his guy, Doug Baldwin, and Dixon. That was a low throw, but he's able to catch it. Russell Wilson, aside from the tipped interception, I would say is having a pretty good day so far. Of course, you have to deal with the Aaron Donald factor as well, which is why they've been doing a lot of quick throws in this game. Will Dissly, nice little throw right there. Connor Baldwin just didn't have a chance. This game has been filled with a lot of quick throws and quick decision making because of the fact that you have Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald on the same defensive line, so you definitely got to keep that in mind. And Rashad Penny just falls down right there, gain of 4. Probably could have had a little bit more, to be honest, but it is what it is. The Seattle offensive line definitely not good, but you just have to work with what you have. And Wilson gonna get out of the pocket, and he slides in front of Talib. Good job by the right tackle, Fetty, who isn't really that good of a right tackle, but at least he takes his matchup to the outside so Wilson can hit the gap. They're going to hand it off here to Rashad Penny, and not a good decision because Ndamukong Suh just ate it up. He's been one of the more elite defensive tackles on the season. Coming into this game with 22 total tackles, 9 for a loss. So your boy Ndamukong Suh is having a great season to start things off. And Russell Wilson just taking too long to the side. He only gets 1 yard out of that scramble. Probably could have had more if he had just taken the shot. And a nice interception right there for Mark Barron, baiting Russell Wilson into that slant pass. You had a screen going one way and a slant pass going the other, and Mark Barron just absolutely baiting Russell Wilson. Good play right there from Mark Barron on the defensive side. Goff going to hand it off to Todd Gurley again, and he is going to be brought down by Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright. Here we go right here, 2nd down and 5, and you have about under 3 minutes to go. Under center would be Jared Goff. Gerald Everett about to motion out. And it's going to be a play fake. Goff, and he runs right into a sack. Barkevius Mingo going up against Robert Havenstein, and he ends up winning the matchup. Mingo, a former first-round pick for the Cleveland Browns out of LSU. He's bounced around the league a little bit. Now he has found a home here in Seattle. Goff again. This time he's going to scramble out of the pocket, and he has a man wide open. And there was busted coverage right there. I think Earl Thomas was supposed to go deep, but he played underneath. Unfortunately, this play could be coming back. An illegal forward pass on Jared Goff. Goff, who made one hell of a play. I mean, he evaded the pressure and he just stepped up and made a throw, but he stepped up a little too far because he crossed the line of scrimmage. But definitely busted coverage right there from Seattle. And Penny's just going to field it. I don't know what he was thinking. Either way, it's going to go at the 6-yard line. Well, last time they were down here in this part of the field, It was an interception. Oh, and Baldwin, a drop right there. Mark Barron, good job. He's been having to do a little bit of everything in this game. Just a clean drop from Doug Baldwin. They had the safety beat. Just couldn't take advantage of the matchup. And here's CJ Procise. Doesn't get a whole lot of carries, but when he does, he tries to make the most out of them. He's typically used as a receiving threat out of the backfield, so nice to see him get a run right there. And a nice crazy blitz right here from Wade Phillips. And what a play right there to Ed Dixon. Wade Phillips calling one of those crazy blitzes. All man coverage across the board, and Wilson just having to heave a prayer out there for his guy to come up with the catch. And here's CJ Procise underneath, makes a guy miss, gets about 10 yards. Russell Wilson, these guys are going to go hurry up, and Dixon is going to go in motion. And I think Wilson wanted to get to the first down marker, but he bumped into Ed Dixon. So he's only going to get 9 yards right there because of the shove by Connor Barwin. Good plays by Russell Wilson. I mean, he's just trying to make the best play possible. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. One kind of not his fault. The other one was just a good play from Mark Barron. Here we go, behind the line of scrimmage, and he's able to get out of bounds. Good play from Penny. Trying to get some extra yards and then go out of bounds. Seattle slowly moving the chains right here. Baldwin taking a small break right now. Russell Wilson gonna run it again. He heaves ahead for the first down. Here we go, Russell Wilson. Trey Madden just gonna get out of bounds. No gain on the play, but smart decision right there. And of course Seattle has their 3 timeouts, like we know that. But if you could save them, that'd be excellent. Oh, and Brandon Marshall right there going up against Sam Shields. That was I thought that was a catch for sure, and Brandon Marshall just couldn't come up with it. Here we go right here, man. 3rd and 10. Doug Baldwin, what a beautiful catch. Going up against John Johnson III. Just a beautiful catch right there from Doug Baldwin. He laid it out there for that football, and that's his first catch of the game. Hasn't really been involved a whole lot, as I don't know if you can see on my screen, but Fortnite finished its upload or its download or whatever it is. As you see right there, CJ Procise getting a first down. He's going to be 1st and goal now inside the 5. Could this be Doug Baldwin's time in the end zone? Oh, an inside position from Nikel Roby-Coleman. And Russell Wilson with 3 first-half interceptions. This is a nightmare for him. It's giving him flashbacks to the time he played Green Bay. And he threw like 5 interceptions. And Todd Gurley now just getting 3 yards on the ground. They're just going to run the ball straight to halftime. This is unfortunate. And it's 7-6. Seattle arguably shouldn't be winning the football game right now, but they are somehow. Seattle with 3 turnovers to start the game. I mean, they've been getting the yards, and they lead by 1 point, but yards don't win games. Points do. And as we see this NFC West matchup, the 49ers lead the Cardinals. Garoppolo having himself a solid outing. Meanwhile, Sam Bradford and company are struggling against the 49ers. Take you out here to LA. The Chargers and Raiders are going at it, and Phillip Rivers, solid game so far, whereas Derek Carr only completing 33% of his passes. A rematch from the NFC Championship sees the Eagles leading 15-3. Carson Wentz with 100 yards, Jay Ajayi with a touchdown. Kirk Cousins and company, they'd like better results. Here are some of the top plays, of course. The 3-yard touchdown from Russell Wilson, number 3. And of course right here, what about this big bomb right here, a 64-yarder to Jerron Brown. Unfortunately, they will not have the ball to start the second half. That will be the LA Rams. The Seahawks with 3 first-half turnovers. Meanwhile, the problem for the Rams is they just can't convert on third down. They can't keep drives going. They definitely have the potential to keep it going, but they just can't. It's been a big issue for them. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, and a bunch formation. Jared Goff under center. Looks like he's making an adjustment. Gurley going to get the carry, and he is brought down by KJ Wright. It's been a tough game running for Todd Gurley. We'd expect him to have a little bit better of a game, but the Seattle front, highly underrated. They have a lot of talent up front. And all of their linebackers, even the safeties, are pretty good tacklers. So you can't take that away from this Seattle team. They're trying to go back to the basics, and an offensive lineman gets thrown down, and Todd Gurley just gets tripped up for a gain of 6. If only he would have tripped backwards, right? Goff on 3rd and 5. And he's going to throw it to Cooper Kupp. And speaking of third downs, they're able to convert one right there. Good job on Jared Goff finally finding his guy Cooper Kupp. And it's play action. Goff, Cooks. Good job by Coleman bringing him down as soon as he could. And Pete Carroll's like, yo, what's this coverage? Brandon Cooks is one of the fastest receivers in the NFL. You can't really expect someone to keep up with him, can you? Can you? And there's a nice play right there from Markevius Mingo to bring down Todd Gurley. Only 23 yards rushing for Todd Gurley, and this season hasn't been a great one in terms of rushing either. Which is kind of strange as well. 2nd and 11. And Alexander going to have to bring him down right there along with Markevius Mingo. It's been that type of game form. Just not really a whole lot working there. Don't forget, guys, to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to like it up as well. We have other things that we do on the channel. Aaron Wilson Jr. balling out currently. Of course, we got the J&A podcast. Maybe an occasional Fortnite video here or there. That's all we really got going on. And Brandon Cooks able to get open once again. A gain of 25 for Brandon Cooks. And once again, just creating a lot of separation. Surprisingly, it was man coverage that Seattle called, but there was like 4 guys in the area of Brandon Cooks. Oh, and Earl Thomas gets faked out by Todd Gurley. But Todd Gurley's still not really being able to run the football the way he'd like. Only 4 yards on the play. Alright, Jared Goff again making an adjustment. And somebody jumped. Somebody jumped on the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be a false start. It was Jerron Brown, or it's Roger Satfield, excuse me. I didn't even know there was 2 Jerron Browns. So there's a Jerron Brown that plays right guard for the Rams, and then the receiver Jerron Brown. And here's Todd Gurley. He's going to be brought down by Frank Clark. That's a name we haven't said a whole lot. Our defensive captain, our co-defensive captain, with a nice tackle right there. Him and Bobby Wagner both are the team captains, and we haven't said Frank Clark's name a whole lot, but he has been a highly graded pass rusher this season. He may not get a lot of the sacks, but he gets constant pressure. 4th and 12, and the field goal unit is going to come out. A 39-yarder here for Greg Serlin. Hopefully he'll be able to make it. Kick is up, and it is going straight down the middle. It's good. 9-7 Rams. Rams take their first lead of the afternoon, or actually the first time since the 3-0 start. Rashad Penny just going to call for a fair catch in the back of the end zone. And Russell Wilson coming back onto the field. It's been a rough game from 3 interceptions. He's been fairly accurate all day, though. If you look at the technically 6 incomplete passes according to the stat sheet, but really 3 of them were completed, just not to his team. That's been the main issue. And Rashad Penny runs right into Ramik Wilson. Penny hasn't been able to run the football either. It's been mainly Russell Wilson in this game. The way that the Rams defensive line is played, they just can't run. And there's a nice tackle right there from John Johnson, going out there playing the flat against Rashad Penny, who only has 2 catches on the day. Here we go, 3rd and 4. And Russell Wilson gets sacked by Aaron Donald. Wilson was trying to evade pressure once again, and Aaron Donald gets sack number 5 on the season. Michael Dixon back to punt it away. And he's going to send this one about as far as he can send it, and he gets to the 18-yard line. So the Rams, who already scored a field goal in this 3rd quarter, they're looking to just continue to add points. They could really benefit from having a touchdown, but we'll just see how it goes. Jared Goff, here he is. He's going to throw it. Gerald Everett, nice catch, being tightly guarded by KJ Wright. He just comes away with it. Goff again in shotgun formation. He is going to hand it off to Todd Gurley. He's met on the play right there by Bobby Wagner. Or no, KJ Wright, excuse me. I was trying to see who was laying down on the ground. Trips right, Brandon Cooks all alone on the left side of the field. Jared Goff, he's going to hike it. And he's going to throw it to Cooks. Throws it inside because the corner's playing outside, and Roger Saffold is going to go down with an injury. And it's going to go to Todd Gurley right there, who just keeps it pushing. 35 rushing yards for Todd Gurley. He's only averaging 2.3 yards a carry up to this point, which is definitely not elite. For Todd Gurley, you'd like to see around 4.5, maybe 4.3. You'd like to see higher yards per carry, but he's just not getting it done. Now he's about 2.25 after that one. Yeah, I know, I'm hitting y'all with some math. Just messing around. This may be the final play of the quarter, depending on if they hike it here. And they're not going to, so it'll be 3rd and 4 when we get back. And we're back. It's going to be 5 wide, including Todd Gurley, who's split out. And Goff, he's just going to throw it underneath the Cooper Kupp. And he is going to get the first down. Here we go. Goff again under center. He's going to hand it off to Todd Gurley, and he is met by KJ Wright, and his name has been said a lot in this game. We've been hearing that name a lot. Whether he's in on the play, whether he's getting, you know, an assisted tackle, immediate pressure. We've just been hearing that name a lot. And it's going to be a draw to Todd Gurley, and he's going to get some yards like that. Okay. 18 rushes for 45 yards now for Gurley. Nice little draw play, catching the defense by surprise. Here we go. It's 3rd and 1. Cooks is in motion. And there's Tyler Higbee. He gets complete separation against Mo Alexander. And he's able to come up with a big time catch on 3rd and 1. Higbee, that's only his 2nd grab on the day. Here we go. Goff. He's just going to throw this one away. I think he wanted Robert Woods right there, but he wasn't able to get him. Second and 10 right here for Goff. And Gurley, he just gets met by Nazir Jones and Earl Thomas. Big push up front by that defense, and now Gurley loses 4. Safety's playing at the down marker, and Cooks just looks back at the last second. Byron Maxwell maybe could have made a play on it, but he never looked back. Brandon Cooks is the guy who makes the play once again. Cooks with 5 catches for 75 yards. He's been creating good separation all game. They haven't really looked his way as much as I would have thought. And Gurley, nice run right there. One of his longest runs of the day. 20 rushes now for 50 yards. At one point we didn't think he'd come back in the game, but here he is. Crucial part of this drive. He's just been keeping the ball pushing. And Gurley gets the first down, but not the touchdown, and he's injured again, this time grabbing his forearm. Kind of near the elbow area, but it's definitely his forearm. That's unfortunate. He looked like he was about to score. Unfortunately for him. Davis is in the game now. See what he can do. Goff is going to hand it off to Davis, and they're going to stop him short at the 1 yard line. I thought maybe he got in, but you see Wagner right there basically just keeping him out of the end zone. And the who was that on the play? Was that the fullback or the running back? Definitely the running back, Kelly. He is their 3rd running back on the depth chart. John Kelly. And he is going to get into the end zone right there, and all of a sudden it's 16-7. And the Seahawks, somehow they're going to have to come down here and score. Points have not been easy for them after their 2nd drive. They really haven't done much. And here's Penny. And Penny trying to get something going. He gets the team to the 33. He's been doing pretty good in the kick returning game, averaging 29. The Seahawks may have more yards, but they do not have the points right now. That is advantage Rams. Almost picked off right there. He gets hit as he throws. Russell Wilson not having a great game. CJ Procise is now in the game, and they're going to motion him out. Procise quickly catches it and quickly gets brought down by LaMarcus Joyner. Procise has been a huge part of this game. Pass protection, getting a carry here and there, and definitely catching the football. Starting 5. They're going to throw it to Brandon Marshall. He's brought down by Mark Barron. They're going to try to hurry up. You can just tell they want to score, man. And Procise, nothing going. Oh, actually, that was Russell Wilson. The play was intended for Procise, but I guess there was some miscommunication up front. So Wilson just kept it, and he takes a big loss right there. Well, not big, but 2 yards. 2 yards is big enough to change the game. Oh, and Procise may have had a chance if he turned around the ball. It looked like he was trying to throw it to Ed Dixon, but Connor Baldwin as well. I'm surprised he didn't pick it off. Rashad Penny in the game. Will Dissly as well. And Dissly had it in his hand and he let go of it. Couple of options right here, and they're gonna go for it. They are going to go for it. They have to, man. This is their seat. No, it's not their season, but like you would like to beat the Rams, and Barwin comes in untouched. Now the Rams can just run the clock out if they want to. And the Seahawks not going to call a timeout just yet. They're going to use the 2-minute warning as their timeout. Yeah, and the 2-minute warning is going to stop the clock. So I guess that's strategic. You use the 2-minute warning as your 4th timeout, essentially. Good thinking right there from Pete Carroll. Granted, he just wasted like 40 seconds, but sometimes you got to take risk. And Davis is brought down right there. So if they can hold them out for 3rd and 14, they can call it, you know, not give up any points here. Could be in a good position. They're going to hand it off again, and Frank Clark just closes in. That's like a loss of like 4 right there. A loss of 2, something like that. Just a big old loss on that play. The Seahawks going to get it at the 20-yard line. Nice punt from Hecker. It did take a bounce, however, in the end zone. And Marshall gets broken up by the smaller Coleman. Nikel Roby-Coleman, the smaller defender, is going to bat it away from Brandon Marshall. Unbelievable right there, man. This game has been really weird for Seattle. They're probably not going to win, but you got to give it an effort. And Marshall, he is going to run out of bounds, a gain of 18. not been a game to remember for Russell Wilson. 3 interceptions. He's had a couple of good moments in this game, but for every good moment, there's an interception that goes with it. Across the middle of the field to Baldwin. We have not heard his name a whole lot. There hasn't been a whole lot to talk about with him. He's just been locked down by Aqib Talib. And there's Ed Dixon. Oh, and a penalty. Could be on Hill. And a face mask penalty on Troy Hill. And Procise, no good. And Vanett with a quick touchdown. Seattle tried to be smart, and they were like, you know what, we're going to run the football at the 1 yard line, but it just didn't work out. Seabass with the extra point. In Seattle, they're going to put their money on it. They're going to go for the onside kick. Oh, they kicked it to Robert Woods. They were hoping for a big hit. Didn't happen. And that's probably what's going to lose them the football game. Very tightly contested game throughout the duration of the game. Just, you got to look back at those 3 turnovers, man. There was no shenanigans, no bad calls. Just, you're going to have to look back at what transpired. I mean, 3 interceptions. You couldn't run the football this game. There's a whole lot that just didn't go right for you. And the Rams are going to walk out of here with their first win, and the Seahawks are going to walk out of here with their first loss. Seattle, pretty favorable matchups throughout the course of the season. They faced Denver and they were able to beat them. An upset win on the road, and you know they took care of who did we face in week 2? I keep forgetting, but I know we beat Dallas. You know, that was the Bears. They got an upset win against the Bears. The defense has been balling out for Chicago, and then of course you have Dallas, who lost, and then you know in week 4 they took care of business against the Cardinals, and against the Rams they're just not able to do it. And that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoy.